Yeah, we'll look at the first game. So you said you played top, right? So how new are you to jungle?
Um, I've been playing both for about a year and a half, 2 years, like off and on, more off and on.
Okay, so you've been playing League for 2 years then.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sweet. Well, I think that depending on how much you play, I mean, unless you're playing like a lot, I don't think so like how long would you say you've been stuck in Iron for then?
Well, the whole time. So
When did you start
I
playing
guess
rank then?
uh I don't know, a year and a half ago. I don't really kept track, so it's kind of hard for me to
Yeah,
think off
yeah.
the top of
Okay, okay. All right. Well, yeah, that is quite a long time to be fair. So we'll see if I can see any patterns so far in these games. I mean,
and like
first of all, what are you thinking when
like
you
right
clear?
now.
Like, yeah, when you clear on your first clear, what's your thought process to where you're pathing?
So I tried to I saw on Nathan's website, like in the Google course. On this, he wants like calls for a blue start. So I'm doing that. I'm thinking I like to full clear and kind of like not like do one thing if I can after this clear. Either like get the scuttle crab, I can do something bot, but like only if it's really like obvious.
Yeah. Okay, so in general, you're only looking to. In general, you're just looking to start blue, right? As a Mumu.
Yes, that's what you're. I think that's what you're supposed to do.
Okay, okay. Other question is, are you a Mumu main or do you just play different champions? A lot of different champions.
I'm trying to make like I I'm pretty echoey. Do you hear my voice echoing?
Yeah, yeah. I'm. I can hear you echo, but is my voice echoing as well?
No, yours is totally good.
Okay.
So if it's not a distraction, I can just keep going.
That's not a distraction. I can hear you pretty well.
So I've played quite a few. I've played a lot of games on Udyr. I played a lot of games on Master Yi. Played a lot of games on Nocturne, and like fairly new to Amumu, but I'm trying to find someone that's like the right fit. One of the things I'm like a pretty indecisive person. I like a lot of variety in life, so I always kind of trying different stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think that's fine up until a certain point. I think four champions is probably the cutoff. So I think right there is like a solid amount. So I don't think there's any issues there. Like 3 to 4 is two is probably best for general general climbing, right? If you want to hone in on your champion. 3 to 4 is solid. I think like 4 is probably the cutoff though.
That makes sense. I'm not playing Udyr anymore, and I kind of stopped just because I don't know, it wasn't clicking.
Yeah.
And I kind of dropped Master Yi just because it wasn't one of the champions in the program. And I wanted to, like, I really want to get this figured out. I kind of consider myself like a logical, kind of systematic person. I really am trying to get something where I can follow someone's guidance and like get a game plan going.
Yeah, 100%. That's why I asked you because it's really important that I think especially between iron and platinum, champion mastery can get you so far without very little understanding of the game. So I think the big thing right now is to yes, like if you want to play other champions, you should, but you should only dabble every once in a while when you're really sick of playing or like when you're just sick of playing the same champ. But otherwise, Eric, I would recommend you actually just hone in on one champion. The better you understand your champion, the better I think the way better results you're gonna get in these games. Like I could tell you all about how to play the mid game, late game, just general non-champion feedback. But to be honest, I think the key is champion mastery for most people. And from what we've just watched, right, I think one thing you can do better that's going to like be much better for your game is your level 1 clear, right? So Nathan has said probably, right, to start blue every time on Amumu, but I would argue that for you to actually improve, you need to be able to decipher when to start red and when to start blue. So, meaning being
That's
flexible, right? I think when you're being told to just do one thing, um, what about other players, right? They're probably being told to do the same thing. So, how are you going to have an edge over other players if you're not able to decipher where you should start instead of just autopilot starting because someone told you to, right? So, that's probably the first aspect. Let me write this down. So, yeah, so first piece of feedback for sure is we need to figure out where we want to path. So I want you to now, like, this is going to take a while, but I want you to create a habit of looking at the matchups and seeing where you would want to path. So if I can go to a place where you tab, you can just find a place where you tab. Or let's just see who's on the enemy team. Okay, so we pause right here, right? What do you think about these matchups, Eric?
my thought is Trundle, especially at Pearly, is a little bit something I want to stay away from.
Yeah.
The Vagar Zyra actually looks pretty promising, I think, especially as the game goes on. There's a Thresh down in bottom lane, which is good. I'm not so sure with that Yasuo, but like I think the sale like Shona's there. She scales. She's weak early. If they weren't pushed under the tower, like that would be a good one. I think also. So I'd be avoiding top, couple prioritizing mid, and secondary, and then bot primary. I think here.
Yeah, so exactly, like 100% agree with everything you said. And the key is that you're looking to go to the lane where you can create net gain plays, right? It's very rare that you're going to go to a lane to protect a lane, and you're going to get a lot of benefit out of it, right? So the key is here is whenever you're thinking about level 1 pathing, you basically all you want to think about is kill pressure, right? Where is the most kill pressure, right? You're thinking about the Thresh. You see a Sona, right? Thresh has CNC, and he should be winning early game, and Yasuo is like an all-in champion. So you pathing down is really good here. But the difference is if you thought, you know, you like, let's say you were red side and you were told, oh shit, I need to start blue buff because I'm playing a Mumu, right? Now you're pathing away from your Thresh Yasuo, right? Let's just say you were on the other you were red side in this scenario. So that's why it's actually very important to understand where you should be pathing, coming from the idea of going to the place with the most kill pressure.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, were you muted?
I'm just messing with my inputs, trying to make stop.
Yeah. Did you get all I just said just then?
100%.
Okay, okay, cool. Okay, so second thing I want to take note of, like, the second thing, this might go slow, but we gotta go through this, okay? So the second thing is the fact that we need to improve our clear. So before you play, how much solo queue do you play actually? By the way, Eric, hello.
Oh,
I heard you just for a second, and then you cut out just then.
okay. You hear me now? I think I'm back.
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. What was your question? Did you say how much solo do I play?
Yes, yes. How much solo queue do you play? Like on a day, or if you don't even play every day?
I don't play every day. I'm kind of just sort of getting back into it, and part of it's I'm like moping around. I'm not doing my real starts. But if I was, I guess I would say this. The answer is not that much right now, but like if I felt like I was making progress or there was more benefit to it, I think I would play more. Part of my dissatisfaction is I kind of play and then I kind of feel bad. and then I feel like well, I'm not improving. So I kind
Yes.
of like, it is a negative cloud over it. I think that's because I really do like the game. Other than that,
Okay. So that's good because what I'm telling you might not be the most enjoyable use of your time, but I think it'll be very effective. So basically, what I want you to do next time you queue up in solo queue, or every time you queue up in solo queue before you queue up, is to practice the Amumu clear. You're gonna go on YouTube, like basically, I'll send you the link to the Amumu clear, and you're gonna practice both sides, red and blue side, um, like couple times until you get down one part of the clear. So, for example, what I mean by that is you cleared 3 minutes and where is it? 3 minutes and 26 seconds, right? With no smite. If you went to YouTube and searched Amumu clear, it would probably be like 316, 317, one smite, right? That's
got
a big difference, even though it's only 6 9 seconds, right? So that's going to be something that's really beneficial to you, as well as getting you focused, right? You're actually focusing on progression. Of course, right now we want results, but if we focus on results, it's like the paradox. You focus on results, you don't actually get results. You focus on the process and skill progression and development, the results will come after that, right? So, first, first two things we've got so far is we talked about just then, the clear, and we talked about your level one decision making process for where you path. So you do scuttle. See what you do here. Recall. Come back. Walks in your jungle. Yeah, what do you think about this player, Eric? So he's in your jungle. You see him. What do you think?
I think that's Warwick. I'm scared of him. Then I think he's level 3 and just collapsing on him. We're gonna kill him.
Yeah, that's good. Item difference. Item difference. Level difference. And Sinja's first move. A big thing here as well, though, is your W, right? You notice here, as you're watching the replay, you don't actually use your W.
Yes. I saw Nathan wrote something on there about like that common thing in pod reviews for like blowing it. And I noticed I do it. Sometimes I turn it off. It's already on.
Yeah, that definitely needs to be a habit. A lot of because your W not only obviously does damage, but it helps you proc your Conqueror even faster, which is like huge for when a 12 stack Conqueror E versus a no stack Conqueror E is like a big difference because you get like 12 AP off a fully stacked Conqueror.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's something to actually really notice, especially since you're going Conqueror as well. Is like the longer the fight goes, the better for you, right? In most scenarios, unless they also have Conqueror, because of your E and basically Conqueror synergy. Because your E cool, right? You see how your E cooldown's ticking down because of people hitting you. So you get a lot of ease off with stack Conqueror. You're gonna do a lot of DPS. Okay, so we're popping down. We see Yorick. We decide to go the other way.
Yeah. So my thought process is I'm not going to get to bot to really help them.
Yeah.
I can those void grubs. He's going to do what he's going to do down there that I can't stop. Hope he doesn't take my jungle, but I'd rather get the void grubs than just get the.
Okay. Yep. Okay, so after grubs, you base and you open on raptors. Can you explain this decision to me?
As opposed to starting on grubs and like sequencing all the way up. Camp service money.
Well, no. It's the so you finish grubs.
Yes.
Why raptors over golems, basically? Oh, is that what you just said? Sorry. If that's what you just
Yeah.
said. I heard
I
grubs.
said cards, not grubs.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay, Krugs, yeah. Yeah, exactly, right?
Um, right. So I'm trying to recall. I think what I was hoping is I would sequence down and hope something happened on.
Okay. I mean, okay. That's not bad. Okay. Well, alright,
But then
talk
I
me through
saw
this one.
something. I saw something. I remember this. Not my way to leave camp. I'd rather like I'm being facetious, but I'd rather skip a good game, like my Cubs. Um, I don't know why did I do. There was a reason though.
You see Warwick? I
He Warwick
assume
like
yes.
upside jungle. I think
Yes.
I don't see him now, but I think that's what happened.
Yes, exactly. I think you see Warwick and you decide that you're going to go counter jungle him. So, this is actually like a really important concept that this will be another piece of feedback we need to work on. It's the idea of counter jungling, right? So, in basic logic, it makes sense. You go take his camps. Now he has one less camp to eat, right?
Yes.
The issue with this is that it is not efficient for you to go from here to here. And also, the second reason is like efficient, meaning you're going raptors. Now your golems are going to be not respawning at the same time as raptors because you're going to kill golems later. And now raptors is going to respawn at a weird time, right? Compared to, look, your wolves and gromp, right? So your cycle's a bit messed up here. So that's one big reason. The other big reason is camps are not scarce. So that's really important to understand when it comes to counter jungling. It's not as impactful as many people think. And when your laner tells you to do dragon, your top laner tells you to do dragon when they are getting ganked top, for example, that is also another like fallacy that people fall into. Because unless you were planning to do dragon anyway, it's more than likely you're gonna have to skip something to get to the dragon, right? It's the same here. You see Warwick reactively, and you weren't even planning to go into his jungle, right? Clearly, because if you were, you would do blue into his jungle, right, for efficient pathing.
Yeah. No intention to go in there. It was a reaction to what seeing him show model.
Exactly. And I think this is a bad habit, is basically what I'm trying to say. A bad reaction that a lot of people have the habit of. And again, I think it's a fallacy because camps are not scarce, okay? So you take his raptors, guess what? That skull is spawning in 10 seconds, right? You take his golems, now he can enter on your golems too, right? It doesn't just because you have two pushing lanes doesn't necessarily mean he can't take the golems, right? Because he can walk through here and your laners don't see. And you never know. If you ping, they might not even come, right? So
Right.
I think when you go to counter jungle, there needs to be more than one reason than just the camp itself. Whether you're trying to bush cheese him, right? He's walking in and then you try to kill him. Whether you're trying to go behind and gank, right? Ganking is essentially always from behind or in lane bush. There's usually only two ways, right? So unless you were preparing to gank top after raptors or gank mid or dive mid after raptors, just going for the purpose of taking his top side is not a good enough reason to skip your cap sequence, right? Remember what I said just before about your wolves and gromp are going to spawn perfectly for you to clear as a pair. But as soon as you do raptors to raptors, now your golems and raptors are not going to be cycling together, right? And look
Right.
at the distance you're going to have to walk, right? Compared to if you were planning this before, let's just say, regardless of walk showing bot or not, blue to raptors, you wouldn't mess up any sequence and you would be walking in a straight line where you would be pathing efficiently. So let me just note that down. That would be probably the third thing so far. What do you think about what I just said?
Well, I mean, I'm, I guess, so I'm trying to sort of run the math here. If I get 3 camps and then base in exchange for one, that I'm still struggling with how that's not a good exchange because then also he's not going to do that to drugs. I feel like at this level. I mean, sure, you shouldn't play to the necessarily the bad level that you're at. Right? You don't want to be at that level.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, if you look, here's how I look at these things, honestly. You know how this works. I don't know how this works. If you say it works, I'm more inclined to do it and then figure out in the long term the reasoning behind it.
No,
Because
I need you to experiment with this. You know, you can't. You have to go off your experience. So this is this is basically key for like your growth as a player. Is yes, yes, I can just say, oh, I have more merit than you, so you should listen to me. But at the end of the day, you're gonna be playing the game, and I'm not gonna be there. So your experience is more important than what I'm saying, but you just have to experiment with it and understand because or experiment with it and question just question what I'm saying and question how you're thinking as well, right? I think it goes both ways.
I can't agree with what you just, because I don't have that kind of time. I don't understand this well enough. And for me to like for me to honestly come back and go, no, you were wrong. I don't agree with you here. That's like a 6 month project. Like
I mean,
for me to
is it really?
of course, because like I don't know if I pick something that I know about. If I give someone some feedback like that, I mean, I don't know how I should. No, that doesn't make sense. I have to take what you say and incorporate into what I'm doing. I
Okay,
have to. It has to be that
just
way.
take it
It
with a
can't be.
grain of salt because if you don't agree with me, right? Like you just said, you didn't agree initially, right, with what I'm saying because you can't see how 3 to 1 is um is bad, then you instinctually are just going to like you're always going to listen to yourself, right? At the end of the day. Um
Yes, I totally. But I think, to me, and you tell me what you think. To me, part of the point of this is changing the way that I think so that I make the right.
yes.
Like, what
Yes.
am I going to do? I'm going to make it. You tell me to do something. No, I'm going to do it wrong for a while until I come to realize that you were right at the end.
Oh,
I'm not going to do that.
I am that type of person. I'm pretty stubborn. So when people tell me something and even if they have more merit than me, sometimes yeah, I do just like fall on my head multiple times before I'm like, okay, I see what he's saying now. But regardless, if that's how you learn better, that's fine. The main
Like,
the main
just sort of. I do need to understand it though. Like,
yes, yes.
because I'm looking for like the theory behind it so I can make the right decision. I get what you're saying. Like you explained the rationale behind it. And I just need to think about it for a while.
Yeah,
Like
that's okay.
I don't want to everything you say if I don't immediately like see it, I don't want to argue. I want to figure out what I'm missing. If that makes
Yeah. So I just want to fill in the blank because I wanted to argue about the 3 to 1 idea. So yeah, you would actually maybe you would actually take 3 camps, but the issue with the taking the 3 camps, right, is you're assuming he's just not going to do anything in the meantime, right? Look what happened. I didn't I didn't just tell Warwick to do this, right? This is in the past, right? No affiliation. You're taking the three
clearly
camps. Look what he does, right? Or you're taking
right.
the 2 camps rather, right? So you're always gonna be exposing something somewhere, even if you just that's the point, right? You're going from here to here and to here. And
It's a
if you
lot of
don't
walking, right?
a lot
We're
of
accomplishing
walking,
nothing.
exactly. And you are accomplishing something, but again, the argument goes back to jungle camps aren't scarce, right? It's like printing money is freaking inflation. There's money everywhere, right? So it's like for Warwick to get denied 2 camps, it doesn't matter because he's got the red up now on your side. He's got Scuttle Crab. He's got Golems, probably not, right? It's like a little bit risky. He's got mid push for red buff. So in all, he got a gank and one camp, and you got two camps. And if you cannot gank top here, Eric, then now he's basically won the trade, right? Even though you've taken his two camps, quote unquote. Yeah, so this actually ends up working out to an even trade, right? You took two camps. He took, well, sorry, you took, yeah, you took two camps. He took probably one camp and ganked bot, and then you ganked top. So,
And he's gonna get mid.
okay, never mind. Okay, never mind. But
So let's just
yeah,
let me ask this: would the correct decision be? And I know he's bought, so rather than thinking like I can get this stuff top, I'm also bought. I should pass towards the Krugs, and if he reappears, my bot lane's kind of. I should be in a position to counter. Is that what I the right decision?
I would honestly say no, but I like the idea. But the reason why I'd say no is just because how can you predict he's going to gank bot, right? I feel like with a Sona, and you have a Thresh, right? With Thresh Lantern, why would he even gank bot? Like, I think this gank bot is ridiculous, to be honest. But what I will say is that you should be crossing into his jungle after you get level 6. You should be doing the two camps and crossing into the jungle once you get level 6, because level 6 is such an important timer for junglers. Especially Amumu, right? You're playing Amumu, you're playing Nocturne, you're playing he's playing Warwick, right? It's probably the same for him. And you are actually, if I am correct, you should be up at least a camp, right? Because I think you skip camps, yeah? He died here in front of your face, and he's level 3, right? So you should be up a camp or two to get level 6 first, right?
I think I'm up more than that. I can't totally remember. But yes, these things.
Yes. So anything that's not helping you get level 6, I think, is just wrong, basically. Any decision making which doesn't involve you getting level 6 is wrong. And then any decision where you're not trying to utilize your level 6 to 5 spike is also wrong. Does that make sense?
Oh,
Yeah, so I think that's also something to note down. Like, so right now we've cleared 1 to 4, basically. We've cleared the counter jungling concept where it's like the pathing needs to be efficient, right? I think what you said before, walking around taking a long time is just, it's honestly just a waste of time compared to pathing efficiently and understanding camps. Camps are not scarce, right? There's an abundance of camps.
yeah, I think that is more the thing for me because I kind of have always to look at it the other way that like if I take a camp, that's like minus 80 to him also.
Yeah, no. If only it was like, if the game was a turn-based game, maybe, but the game's still in motion while you walk to the camp and take it, right? So yeah, we got counter jungling, pathing efficiency, and then utilizing level 6 timer. Okay, so yep, you did the gank. Well, gank mid, you based. Okay, we are 500 off the Andres. Work ults you. He flips. Yep. Okay, I mean, that was just overkill.
Yeah. So here's the thought process. I agree. Um, I really wanted to kill him. I didn't want him to get the blast kill. Too much though, right? Like he was.
So the key is now this is gonna come down to general game knowledge, right? Do you know what Singe W does?
I have no idea. He puts that green stuff everywhere and runs around.
Okay, so this is going to be also important on your journey. It's a part of the game, right? Champion mastery is important. We talked about it, which is your champion. But then general game knowledge, meaning other people's champions, is going to be also important. I understand why you did this now because you don't understand what Singed the abilities are besides his Q, right? So
Is that the thing where you flip the W? Flip him?
yeah, the flip is the E, the W is this right here. This right here is like an 80% slow. So if you knew that, there's no way this guy's getting past this W in time to auto attack the blast code, basically. And also you can't flash in this W. You're you're not allowed to use any dashes or anything in the W as well. So for like general game knowledge as well, like if you enjoy playing ARAMs, I think it's also good to just play other champions in ARAM and like just have a good general understanding of their abilities. That's going to help you as well. So we try the gank. Doesn't work. Fighting. This is like a Mumu dream, honestly.
But I wasted my ult, so I don't have it when I push it right there.
That's true. Hold on. I missed a point that I should be. Okay, no, I didn't. Good. So you see. Wait, hold on. What's this decision right here? Oh, you see Warwick top. Okay. So the key here, alright, basically post level 6, Eric, I think the main point here is going to be focusing on utilizing your ultimate, right? Especially when you have your first item spike, your ultimate is going to be the key between, like you said, right, in the top fight, if you had ulti, you just kill them all there. Or the key between you being really strong and really weak, right? Right now you're really weak. So basically what I want you to do is I want you to shift your modes of like your mode of how you want to play the game based on whether you have ult or not, right? Post level 6.
Makes sense.
I think this is really
Like
important concept.
that, but I'm not very good at it.
What are you not good at, sorry?
Self-control. I get
Oh.
excited. I'm like,
you keep seeing the jungler and having like you just have to go to his camps. You're going from New York to LA right now. Like just chill out here, and then once you have your ulti, right? Around 3 camps is your ulti timer, right?
makes a lot of sense.
Then look for something aggressive, right? You can do the red golems raptors. You see the Warwick top. He's gonna clear down, and he's gonna meet you in the middle, and then you're gonna one-shot him because you have ulti and red buff, or he does the grubs and then you dive bot, right? You don't need to again. It goes back to the same concept about pathing efficiently, and not worrying about taking camps when the enemy jungler makes a play, or counter jungling.
Right.
Sorry.
I get what you're saying because for me, from a pure income standpoint, I would have done all three of those camps on the bot side before I even started on.
Yeah, this is not bad. Like sometimes you want to go from here to here, but it goes back to what I said before about you need more than one reason to counter jungle, right? I'm not saying never
Yeah,
counter jungle. I'm saying you need more than one reason. So one really good reason here is because you can actually dive bottom here because you have ulti in 5 seconds. So you want to position yourself to be behind them. So you take the camp, get the gold gain, plus you're going to have plenty of opportunity to look to dive bot here based on how they're playing. So if that was your reasoning from going from base to the enemy gromp, that's really good. But if it's like we talked about, just because you saw the Warwick top, now you're going to his bot side, this is not going to get you results, right? You clearly saw Warwick traded like 2 kills, 2 ganks. You got more camps, but he got more ganks. So overall, he clearly won the trade when you went to his top side, right? In the previous sequence. So how often do you dive, by the way? That's an important question here.
on this, I'm not that comfortable on this champion. So like, not as, and I try to be more chill. And I'm like more than I should. I think.
Okay, that's good. I think the key for you to grow again is experimentation and pushing your limits. So, um, I mean, this scenario, I think the only issue then is you just don't you're not aware, right? You don't look. Whenever you're behind, you need to be looking, right? You're behind. You're always gonna remember when you're in the jungle, right? Unless the towers are down and they're farming at the tier 2, you are behind them, right? That's really big. Like obviously, it's like take whenever you can see the whenever you can see the back, you can take the back, right? In jiu-jitsu, right? It's the same.
Yeah,
It's the same here. Whenever you're behind them, if you're not looking at their backs and seeing if they're exposing themselves, you're doing yourself a disservice, right? Like to put more opportunities like after you take camps. But again, it goes back to the same idea. You should be taking camps and having a like when you go to the enemy jungle, before you go to the enemy jungle, that you should have a reason to go there besides taking the camp. Whether it's like I said, being behind, ganking, diving, or meeting them at a camp and fighting them because you're much stronger than them. That's also something else we can note down as feedback. All right, so we won't go through every single VOD because I don't want to blast you with too much information. There's probably too much theory at this point, and not enough practicality because of how much feedback I've given you so far. So we'll look at one more sequence, and then any questions you have, we'll go from there. So we do dragon instead of diving bot. We missed opportunity. Raptors red. Veigar dies mid solo. You have to defend. He hit a really nice E. I think this is an important habit that I'm going to note down as well. Is practice activating W before engaging in a fight. This guy would be dead right now if you had your W activated, Eric, like at the start. Oh, like he's dead already, but like he would have died without you having the Q, right?
yeah, I didn't chase better.
Yeah. So Ward tries to gank mid. He tries again. Tries to solo him. So this would go back to the same concept we were talking about earlier about the modes on which your behavior should follow, right? When you have ulti and when you don't have ulti. So here, unless the Vega was walking towards you, Eric, you shouldn't be hoping to protect him or for him to survive and just running at him, right? You could be doing Scuttle Crab right now. You could be doing his Raptors. Um, right? You could be, or like if you're coming mid, it's only because you want to tax the wave, not save the Vega, right? Because the Vega's actively running away from you. You see that?
So, I really think I have an issue here, and it's this. In F to improve at this, I'm trying to figure out what's wrong, and I think I've changed a bunch of things that were probably not wrong. Because my inclination is to let people die. But I felt like
Yes,
maybe that's
good.
the problem, is that like I'm letting these people die and then they're weak. So I try to help. And I've really been rattling my process. I'm like, I feel like there's something fundamentally wrong that I'm doing like in the mid game that's like catastrophic. And something that like philosophically or like just there's a deep misunderstanding of what I'm supposed to do. And I'm trying to figure out what it is. You see what I'm saying here? And I think maybe I've just been like coming to the wrong conclusion and actually making myself worse.
Okay, we'll look at the mid game, but like your instincts are 100% correct, right? Especially when you don't have ulti, right? This is the key here. Like, no ulti, he's running the opposite way of you. The way you should be playing is just getting strong, like accumulating as much gold as possible without fighting, unless your teammates are carrying you. And then after that, you accumulate the gold, and you have ulti. You can base. Now you can attack the map heavily, right? So we'll look at more mid game sequence. So like basically my definition of mid games post 14 minutes, when there's no plates, basically. I mean everyone's still laning here, but we're practically in the mid game now, right? These guys are grouping for Herald. You're basing. You don't have ultimate. That makes sense. We give the Herald because you don't have ulti. Same sequence again. You're walking into the jungle. This is good again if you're looking to dive bot, which I actually think you can. So this is something you're gonna have to experiment with yourself, like what you can and can't do. It's gonna be really important. I would implore you to definitely be okay with messing up and diving if you don't know if you can do it or not. Right. The
Yeah,
more
that
we
makes
can, the more we can trip and get back up again, the more we can understand when we're gonna trip and when we're not gonna trip. Right. We're gonna build the sensitivity to what we can and can't do, essentially. All right. So, what does your E do? This is really important for maximizing a Mumu.
what does the E do? It swings the bandages around and it's like an auto attack.
Yes. So the key here is you're versing a auto attack champ, and your E gets reduced cooldown by auto attacks, right?
Right?
Notice how you don't recognize that
Oh,
he's smashing you. Like he's got a full attack speed build. He's giving you like free E's, for dinner. Like again. You see what I mean?
yeah, that's a big, like, yeah.
So
I'm
that's
wasting a second.
something. Yeah, you should be really happy when you verse attack speed champs, right? So that's like something to look out for as well when you're playing a Mumu is just champion. Like when you're getting auto attacks, you got to pay attention to your bar, your E bar, right? Like you. That's what makes a Mumu so strong, even though he's meant to be like a tank jungler. He does so much damage because when people auto attack, right, you get multiple E's off, and it comes back to what I said at the start of the review with the Conqueror, right? um, with 12 stack conquer and multiple E's, you suddenly do one of the most highest damage on the team, right? You don't have ulti, you're chilling, you counter a, or you collapse on someone on the side lane. People are dying mid. You have ulti now. We're trading top tower for mid tower. You catch them overextending. Catch them on Dragon 2. Yeah, keep your Conqueror stacks. So any you talking about being were you talking about being lost mid game, or you were alluding to that? What did you mean?
No, I don't feel really lost. Like I think I know what to do, but I think what I think I'm supposed to do is maybe not right. Because I feel like this will happen. I'll get way ahead of the other jungle, but I'll still have like a 45% win. So I can only conclude that I'm doing something with that lead that's like the opposite of like helping.
Thank you. That is perfect. That is perfect feedback for yourself. I mean, everything we've talked about so far, you're looking to take the enemy camps, but then you haven't transferred the lead anywhere, right? Like you've been able to occasionally catch people out over their own mistakes, right? In your jungle or in river, but you haven't actually initiated any plays off the top of my head, right? I think we missed
Yeah, I think
like
that's probably fair.
yeah, I think we missed 2 or 3 opportunities diving bot, for example. Um, because like on your timers where he was top, you took his jungle, easy timer to be behind them. Um, there's also timers where you shouldn't be going out, and now you're not farming while you're under maintenance, where you're not actually that strong because you don't have ulti, right? So like yeah, you it's actually a like good feedback for yourself because you're 7-1, but look at the map, right? All 3 towers are dead. Top tower's dead. Of course, you guys killed towers, but did you really contribute to all these towers dying? Like, I'll probably say not really.
Really?
That was a really nice buffer. Oh, that was really nice too. One more E? Oh, that was close. That was nice though. Did you do that on purpose? You know what I'm talking about when I say you were buffering?
No.
Okay, so one key skill that's really good that you were doing here is you were buffering the CC. So see how you're CC'd,
Yep.
but you press Q, right? Just before you
Yes.
got CC'd, you just cancelled his ulti. Look at this, right? The Zyra ult, it knocks you up, right? After about 2 seconds.
Yeah.
You press Q just before the CC goes off on you. You see that?
Yeah. Honestly, in the Warwick, I was like spamming it because I thought I could stop the whole
Okay,
thing.
well, then you need to actively look for that. This is really good, right? Like, if you think Sona's about to ult you and you're fighting her, you should be buffering your Q on her, right? That's like really good. Because what it does is it creates a situation where you're doing damage while being CC'd, right? Which is really good. Unfortunately, like obviously you just end up dying, but you practically 1v4 there, or 1v3. You take dragon, they're trying to split push. You kill, you do baron. We're not grouped. Oh, Singe died here. And now it's 3 vs 5.
Go watch what I.
Okay, so I wouldn't recommend fighting this because it's 3 vs 5. But if you were going to fight this, this is going to go back to champion mastery again, right? So the freeze frame is, again, you're not Wing before you Q. This guy has no merc treads, right? Something to keep in mind. So you can actually weave an auto E, Eric, before you ulti to chain CC the Zyra if he doesn't have merc treads. So that's going to be really important because, right, putting your E cooldown on cycle, on cooldown rather, is going to give you another E as soon as possible, right?
That makes sense.
So that's going to be something you have to practice versus non-merc treads champs, is especially if they don't have high mobility, you shouldn't be too worried about like CCing them. You can even spread out your CC. You don't have to chain CC. But even then, like I said, your Q auto E will give him like maybe 0.2 seconds to flash, but your ulti range is like, he has no dashes, so flash won't do anything. The second point to that, it's basically Conqueror, right? So we go back to the same idea. You just Q ulted and you have 6 stacks. Imagine if you ulted with 12 stack Conqueror and they all started collapsing on you now. Does it make sense? Like if you held your ult as well and you had 12 stack Conqueror and you hit your 12 stack E, you're going to be doing a lot more damage than what happened right here.
That was terrible. I knew when I did that, I was like, oh shit, where's off?
Yeah, but I actually do believe like obviously it's not a favorable fight, but you're at that point where you're that strong. You have really good items against this team as well, right? Reduced healing and Leandris against tanky healing champs, where you could have honestly 3 vs 4 these guys, had you held your ulti and tried to stack your Conqueror there. So we somehow get top in it with split push, and then they overstay in your jungle. Now we're fighting mid. You guys maybe overstaying a little bit. Yeah, I'm killing Warwick, but this is something to emphasize again, right? Like the auto attack champs, you're gonna get so many E's off if you just need to be spamming your E right off cooldown when you see him resetting your E like this. Right, you probably could have got two or three more E's in there, right? And Yasuo wouldn't even have a kill.
Sitting off cooldown.
You guys end up winning without your help. Okay. So I'm going to send you the notes. I think that's a lot for today. So we'll leave it there unless you have any other questions about any specific questions about other games. But other than that, I think we'll leave it there and I'll give you some. So there's a lot of different feedback, but I don't want you to, I don't think humans can multitask very well. So I think you should just focus on what you have the most affinity towards, right? Maybe you care most about improving your level 1 pathing, or the clear we were talking about, or just champion mastery, right? Like the Amumu, like utilizing your E better, stacking your Conqueror better, using, getting in the habit of using your W before you start the fight, right?
Yeah.
Whatever you have an affinity for to work on, I think just go for that and focus on that until you're happy it gets to a certain standard of yours. So I'll send the notes here.